In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your cam sensor on your Fiat 500. It's located next to your battery tray. To remove your battery, you're going to remove your negative battery terminal first using a 10mm socket. Loosen this nut. Take the terminal off. Set it aside. Now we're going to remove the positive battery terminal using a 10mm long socket. After it's loose, you're going to remove the terminal. Try to put it aside where it's not going to hit any metal. Using a 13mm socket, we're going to remove our hold-down bolt. It's in front of the battery. Remove your bolt with the hold down and set it aside. Make sure both terminals are away from the battery. This battery has a handle, so we're going to use that. And remove it. We're going to start by taking this engine cover off. I'm just going to pull up on it and pull it out. Set that aside. Using an 8mm socket, we're going to take out this bolt and also this one on the other side. You're just going to leave those sitting there. You don't need to take them out. Now we're going to remove this air intake. Using a pry bar, just pry it off. At this point, we're just going to remove where things are still attached. So this hose and this hose. If you pick it up and wiggle it, you'll be able to see where to go next. Using an 8mm socket, we're going to remove this hose clamp. Or loosen it, should I say. And now we're going to remove our hose. Using a pry bar. Just set that over there, and now we're going to take this off. Should just be able to pry it up like so. We have one more hose back here we're going to remove. We're really just going to take it out of the clamp back here. We're not removing anything. It's just a little guide. So just pick up on the hose and it'll come out of its clamps. So you've undone these two bolts. You're going to leave them there and you're going to do this back one, which is kind of a sneaky spot. So get your 8mm back here and undo that bolt as well. All right, let's remove this. And set it aside. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to take out these two bolts. Set that aside. And there's another bolt in the back underneath this big hose. So you're going to reach down in there and take that one out. Now let's remove this. And lift this up. And set that off to the side. So the cam sensor is right here. I'm using a mirror so you can see. So you're going to use a screwdriver to come around the back of the engine, slide it through, and you're going to try to unlock that yellow tab. All right, so you're going to unlock it, and then you're going to push in on that tab. It's really hard to get to. And pull it out. Remove the connector. Now we're going to unbolt it. Put that over there, and now we're going to unbolt it from the engine. Next to the battery box, you're going to reach underneath with a 10mm wrench, and you're going to take out the bolt holding the cam sensor in. It's really hard to show, and it's really hard to get to. But you're going to have to go by feel, find the bolt, push down to loosen it, and take it out. We're going to remove our tray using a 13mm socket. And take out that nut and then these two bolts. Remove your bolts, set them aside. After you remove your bolts, you're going to unlock these two yellow tabs. So after you push these yellow tabs out, you're going to pick this up, push it this way, and it should disconnect. Set that to the side and do the same on the other. You're going to want to disconnect that from the grommet here. The grommet comes out of that bracket using a trim tool. And wherever else you see there is a connection, you're going to want to remove it. Remove any other grommets you see that are attaching the tray to the vehicle using a trim tool. So now that you've moved your battery tray up and over, you should be able to get a good swing on this bolt holding in the cam sensor. All right, so I got to a point where I could take it out by hand. And there we have it. Now that you've taken your bolt out, you're going to pull out your cam sensor. So put your hand in there. And twist it a tiny bit because it's an O-ring in there. And there you have it. Use some oil on this O-ring. Make sure you clean and inspect it. You can reuse it if needed, otherwise replace it. So I put it on my cam sensor, and now I'm going to put my cam sensor in. You're going to reach behind. Make sure the cam sensor's bolt hole is down, not up, so that it lines up. You're going to press it into the hole. You may need to swivel it around a few times until it's seated. Now we're going to insert our bolt and tighten it by hand. And then there is a torque spec for this, if you can get a torque wrench in there. We can't. So it is 80 inch-pounds. If you can't get a torque wrench in there, do your best and just wrist tight is fine. Just make sure it's snug. So I'm reaching with my left hand over to the side of the engine, so my hand's kind of upside down, and I'm able to start the bolt by hand. This is a very tough bolt to get to. You're going to need some patience. So now I'm using my 10mm wrench and I'm tightening wrist tight this bolt. It feels good. Again, if you can get a torque wrench in there, it's 80 inch-pounds. Now we're going to connect our connector. Push it on. Make sure you hear that click, and then lock it in with that yellow tab. Double check your harness like I just did. Make sure it locks in. If it doesn't lock in, it's going to pull off just like this one did. Push your connector on and then lock it in place. Now that you've tightened down your bolt for your cam sensor, plug is in place. We're going to put our battery tray back in. It's definitely going to take a little finagling. Remember to put your wiring harness back in its clip back here. There we are. We're going to reattach our connectors. Put your grommets back in. It's important you do that so they don't get too hot and burn or melt. I'm going to plug in the computer. There we go. That's secure. And now we're going to put our bolts in. And you can start your nut. Let's tighten these down. Let's put this back. Place this on here. Make sure that O-ring has lubrication so it's easier to put on. Line up your holes. You can put your hose on. Probably easier to do before you bolt it down. All right, now we're going to start our bolts. You got one in the back here. Don't forget about it. Once they're all started by hand, you can tighten them down. You want them about wrist tight. Let's put this back on. You're going to line up your grommets and your bolt holes. This one here. One here. Make sure you get your hose up here. And this one has to line up as well. There's also a hose you got to put in the bracket in the back. So this hose hooks into this out of the bracket. Make sure you do that and make sure you line up this bolt. Get that hose up, get this one ready. It should just plop into place. This needs to hook in, just pushes on. I would say there's about 8 points of contact that you need to line up before you even begin starting your bolts. Just make sure you tighten them down. Got another one over here. You want about wrist tight. That's aluminum it's going into, so don't over tighten it. And tighten that one as well. Now we're going to move on to our hose clamp. Use the same size. Make sure it's lined up right in this little notch right there. Make sure this hose is on and push down. And now let's put our cover back on. Once you're there, push down. And now we can put our battery back. Place your battery in the tray. Make sure it lines up where it needs to. Let's put our hole down in. Get that bolt started. Zip this in. Now we're going to put our positive terminal on first. And tighten that up. Make sure your battery, the positive, is where the positive is. You want to go about wrist tight. Make sure it doesn't move, and now we're going to connect our negative. Our key is on and in neutral, which is why it's making that noise. Make sure that's tight, and it doesn't move.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.